Shalom. Before I begin this video, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakha Kodash. Also, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that continually rule very well to this very day, that is still to this very day, continually feeding the flock through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And also, shalom to the hopeful elect that's also laboring this work and giving your due diligence to make your calling and election sure in faith and in truth and sincerity, and also in all charity. Now it's going to be another impromptu video in which I may title this video as The Men of the Lord Are Known. You know, if the Spirit allows me to title it in a different way, I'm just going to move according to the Spirit. But, you know, basically in this world that we live in today, in this current society, you know, in the life that we live right now, being in this society, spirits that are here on the soils of America, they're really active, man. All right, they're active, they're aware, and they know who's who. Because now in this time it's being revealed who belongs to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, who's of the righteous and who's of the wicked. All right. That's like you. Right, so who's of the righteous and who's of the wicked? You know, it's being made manifest to this very day. You know, the men of the Lord are being revealed or who they are, and the wicked is being revealed unto who they are. All right. Now, when it comes to these spirits that are residing here and on this current world that we live in, like I mentioned before, they know who are of the righteous and who are of the wicked. Now, when it comes to the ones that are not doing the will of the Lord, especially 2/3 of our people, which make up the majority of the nation of Israel, you know, the majority of our people are through. They're finished, man. You know, there's no coming back from their ways. You know, their conscience has been sealed with a hot iron. All right, to the point that where they cannot recover. So these spirits that are here, they're not going to mess around with Jake. You know, they're not going to mess around with 2/3 of our people and majority of our people. Because why? Because the majority of our people are already defeated. You know, they're already defeated. They're already been overtaken by these different spirits, these demons. And it's going to be like that until they're destroyed. Now, you have the righteous out of the nation of Israel, which, by the way, what make up the nation of Israel are you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, which is primarily that's what the nation of Israel is comprised of, and then you have the confusion of face brothers that are also a part of this fold as well, that are scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. So again, you know, these spirits, they know who the men of the Lord are, man. So these spirits, they're not going to try the wicked of our people. They're going to try the righteous of our people. Why? Because the righteous are walking in a way which is contrary to this current world. And not only that, it's really due to the test that we have to be put through. All right, we have to suffer. All right, so these demons are going to use each and every single tactic they can use to try to get under our skin, literally and figuratively. All right, they're going to try to use your family. They may use your family members. They may use your woman. They may use the people that you work with, your boss. You know, they might mess with your health, your mind. They'll use any and every tactic that they can use to get you off the path. And this is the fight. You know, this is the condition of the battle. You know, people think it's about just going out on the streets and cursing these Edomites out. And that's that. You just go home and do whatever. It's more than that, man. You know, the battle is from within. Because you got, not only do you have to suffer these elements, you know, things around us, but you also have to suffer yourself. Because guess what? You're in this flesh, you're in this in the chains of darkness, like the scriptures say. So you're subject to all kinds of elements, man. You're subject to all kinds of spirits, you know. But if the hedge is not over you, which is administered by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, if that hedge is not over you, then you're going to get overtaken in that day, man. All right? In the day appointed. But I'm going to go ahead and bring out a few examples here in the scriptures just to show you that, you know, we're not the only ones that were tried, man. You know, you had men of the Lord that served as examples, and they held their integrity. You know, even Yahushai, which Lord's will, I get that account too. When Yahushai was fasting in the wilderness when he was by himself, guess what? He wasn't just he didn't have a smooth fast. You know, it wasn't something that was smooth that he just, you know, went through just like that without having any complication. No. When he was fasting, he was being tempted. All right, he was being tempted of the devil, and he suffered through it. All right, and when he suffered through it, he was given even more of a portion of the Spirit. All right. Now I'm gonna go into the book of Luke, the 4th chapter. I'm starting at 33rd verse. It says, "In the synagogue there was a man which had a spirit of an unclean devil, and cried out with a loud voice, saying, Let us alone. What have we to do with thee, thou Yahushai of Nazareth? Art thou come to destroy us? I know thee who thou art, the Holy One of the Most High." Right, so this spirit here, which was using this individual, this man, to call Yahushai out. But the point in this verse, it says that I know thee who thou art. So in other words, he said, I know who you are. So the spirit that was in this man, he knew who Yahushua was. Okay. Also as well, another scripture, if I can, time permits me, Slakia, if I can grab it. So Luke, the 22nd chapter, and start at the 31st verse. I'm going to get straight to the point. It says, "And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat." So, and this is he was talking about Peter. All right. So he was telling Peter that Satan desired to have him and to sift him as wheat. So how much more the men of the Lord that are here today? To see, the spiritual demon Satan's going to try each and every tactic to sift us out of this truth. That's what he wants. All right. But again, like I mentioned before, the one that has the hedge over us, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, he has the hedge over the elect, which Lord's will, we're part of that number. All right. Now I'm going to go back. I'm reading it again. It says, saying, "Let us alone. What have we to do with thee, thou Yahushua of Nazareth?" He says, "Art thou come to destroy us?" He says, "I know thee who thou art, the Holy One of the Most High, the Holy One of Yahweh." It's like, rush. There's traffic in front of me. But 35, it says, "And Yahushua rebuked him, saying, Hold thy peace and come out of him. And when the devil had thrown him in the midst, he came out of him and hurt him not." So here's another example, right? Acts, the 19th chapter. And I'm going to start a few verses up from 15. The point's at 15, but I want to start up a few verses up. Verse 13. it says, then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits, the name of the Lord Yahushua, saying, we adjure you by Yahushua whom Paul preached. And there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Jew, and chief of the priests, which did so. All right, now these were ones of the vagabond Jews that basically, just to give a synopsis of what was going on, it's like give a synopsis of what was going on. Basically, these Jews call themselves exorcists. All right, but the key thing here is that the Lord Yahushua didn't send them. All right, they weren't sent. All right, but they took it upon themselves to do what Paul and the apostles were doing by not exercise. I don't want to use the word exercising, but delivering certain ones from evil spirits. All right. So this is the point at verse 15. It says, and the evil spirit answered and said, Yahushua I know. Right? So he knew Yahushua. So he said, Yahushua I know, and Paul I know. And he says, but who are you? All right, it says, but who are ye? So it says, so in other words, that the Spirit looked at them like, well, who are you? You know, I know Yahushua, I know Paul, I know the apostles, I know the men of the Lord, but who are you? So again, that lets you know, it's like, you forgive me, Akim. Right, I'm going to read it again. It says, and the evil spirit answered and said, Yahushua I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye? And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them, and overcame them, and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of that house naked and wounded. See? And that spirit jumped on them. It started tearing them apart, man. You see? So these spirits, they know who we are. All right. I believe Apostle Elder Tahar once spoke of a few accounts to what he had, where he was dealing with demons in his house. You know, I'm not going to go too much into it, but, you know, he basically went into stories about how he dealt with spirits, man. All right? Because they know who we are. The apostles and elders, they know the apostles and elders. They know the men of the Lord, the men that have been holding fast to this word. They know the brothers in my camp. And hey, you know, and I've been through different experiences myself, so they know who I am as well. All right? Which I'm not bragging or boasting or anything of that nature, but that's just how it is, man. These spirits, they know who we are, and these demons, they know who we are, and they try us at every turn, man. You know, that's why there is right now in this current time that we living in, there's no rest. All right, and it's not supposed to be our rest. This is Matthew, the 4th chapter, and this is at the 1st verse. Now, again, like I mentioned before with Yahushua was in the flesh. All right, so Yahushua, you know, basically he was going through the same thing that we were going through. So he gets tempted, and he got weak in the spirit at one point. All right. You know, the same hour that he was about to be taken captive by the Romans, and he got weak in the spirit, man. He asked the Most High if there's any way possible to take the cup away from him. All right. To not partake in the cup that he was appointed. And the Most High gave him an answer by not answering him. All right. So as Matthew's the 4th chapter in this first verse, it says, then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. Right. So he was led of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. So this was ordained for him to be tempted of the devil, man, to be tempted of that demon. All right. Because he was led of the Spirit. All right. Verse 2, it says, and when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. All right. It says, and when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread. Right. So he was being tempted during that time. All right. Not only was he tempted of making the stone into bread, he was tempted of casting himself off a cliff so that the angels can rescue him. All right. He is even tempted to bow down to Satan so that the kingdom can be his. You know, everything that was and I'm gonna throw a golden nugget. You know, if you can receive this, and I'm gonna use the saying of Yahushua. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. So when he was being tempted of the kingdoms of the world, he was seeing the kingdom of America. All right. Not only was he shown the Roman Empire during that time, he was also being shown the American Empire and the kingdoms of this world today. And while Satan was showing him that, he was saying, look, this can be yours. All right. You can own America. You know, you can be the ruler over America. But the thing is, you have to bow down to Satan. All right. But he came back at him with the scriptures. When he told him that you should only worship Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai and have no other gods before him, which he was quoting the law. All right. So I'm gonna grab one last scripture. I'm gonna close it out. So like I mentioned before, it's gonna come. But here's the thing. The Lord, if you're of the righteous, if you're the elect and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, all right, I'll say that. If you're a part of the hopefully elect and you're doing the work and you're staying faithful to this word and you're doing this with all diligence, this is what the Lord does for you, man. And like I mentioned before, man, the other brothers can attest to it. I can attest to it. The apostle elders can attest to it. This is what happens, man. I'm gonna read it. This is 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter. This is the 13th verse. It says, there hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. Right, so the Lord is not going to put any more on you than you can bear. You know, you hear that saying all the time in these churches, but that's true. All right, the Lord's not going to put anything on you than you can bear. All right, He knows your limits. He knows your breaking points. All right, so the Lord is going to push you to the point where you're about to break, and then He'll let off of you. And really, that's a form of being put in the fire, because He's trying us as gold and silver. Because when you put gold and silver in the fire, you put it in there for a certain amount of time, and you take it out and you examine it. All right, if it needs to be put back in the fire, it's going to get put back in the fire. All right, and that's what the Lord is doing with His men right now. All right. So again, He's not going to tempt us above we are able. All right. It says, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Right. So the Lord is going to make a way for you to escape out of a bad situation. He's going to make a way for you to escape out of temptation, to where you won't be overtaken by that temptation and be destroyed. All right? So that's pretty much it on this precept, and there's also that pretty much hits the point in this video. Lord's will, it was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. Until next time, once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule very well to this very day. Also, Shalom, peace and safety, and salutations to the whole elect that is also plowing in his work, that's showing forth your diligence in his labor of love, spreading his ministry and his gospel to the other members of the whole elect, and faith and truth and sincerity and all charity. And with that, goes to Shalom.